Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. We're turning our attention now to politics in Imo State. We've got two gentlemen joining us here as well. Zare Ma, he's Secretary, PDP, Imo State, as well as Chris Lance Osondo Nyamachar, who is a founding member of the APC in Imo State. Gentlemen, good morning, and thank you for joining us today on the program.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Now, although the chairman of INEC has said that there is no going back on BVAS, and they will continue with their plans and action, but there's this several statements, comments published. For instance, there's one from a group, they call themselves the Arewa Consultative Youth Movement. There are several others. They did ask the president to call or investigate or set up a team to investigate the governor of Imo State concerning allegations of him being behind the plot to remove the chairman of INEC and frustrate the use of BVAS. Today's daily, some of them did publish Haneze calling, asking the governor of Imo State to come clean on his position on BVAS, whether or not those allegations leveled against him are true. So, and several other matters happening in the state. So say Imo's been in the news for not exactly the right reason. So let me start from you, being a member of the APC, concerning the state government, what is being alleged against the governor. Should he be speaking directly and putting all of these rumors to bed?
Thank you, Chamberlain. Sincerely speaking, there is no truth in the accusation or allegation that the governor of Imo State is trying to put a stop to the BVAS or try to instigate the removal of the INEC chairman.
How can you say that for sure?
Very sure, because he has no capacity to remove the INEC chairman. And he also does not have any capacity to call or to even instigate the INEC or the federal government to jettison the BVAS. So, you know, these are orchestration of the PDP, starting from Imo State.
Of the PDP?
Yes, and I will tell you that this young man who is running for, I think he is one of their candidates in either North and South. It was him who fired the first shot over the issue of BVAS, removal of INEC chairman. And to be very candid with you, the young man has a history. He has a pertinent history for lies and putting up fictitious information in the public.
I think we're just on the issues. And not
I'm telling you where it all started.
Yeah, but focus on the issues.
Because he said he was speaking for cops.
Well, he's not here.
We know. He said he's speaking for the cops, but we know who are his paymasters. We know whose ears he's got. So that's why I had to, you know, go a little, drift a little back.
But not on his character, but the issues, of course, we'll talk about the issues.
Well, it is consistent in his character to go that way. That is why I have to bring it to, to let Nigerians know. How could a young man wake up and claim that a sitting governor? Let me tell you, the issue of BVAS, who brought about the issue of BVAS? Who signed it into law? Was it the PDP? Was it the cops? It was all APC. So how could APC bring, reform our electoral process?
APC brought BVAS.
Under APC government, if the parliament.
So INEC is not independent then?
They are independent, but when they brought hold on. They are independent. However, who is controlling the National Assembly?
Is APC controlling INEC?
No, but the National Assembly had to give the approval. They signed it, they passed it, and the president signed it into law. So if the APC does not want it, they would have killed it right at the National Assembly. That's what I'm saying.
Since you accuse the PDP, Honorable Ray, is that the case?
The problem we have in Nigeria is that there's no distinction between patriotism and self-interest. Because if my brother here is talking about APC bringing into law and all that, the issues are clear. Did anybody go to court in Imo State to ask that BVAS be jettisoned? Did anybody go that? If that answer is yes, and it is yes, and it was sponsored by the government of APC in Imo State, and INEC BVAS being jettisoned, means a truncation of the Electoral Act and a complete overhaul of the electoral process that is supposed to usher good governance in Nigeria. So is there anything like that happening? If the answer is yes, why can't we face the fact and say it the way it is? Secondly, he's talking about Igochinya. Is it not a fact that INEC data is being compromised, where a local government that has been bedeviled by insecurity, where almost everybody, every community is deserted, where the local government that registered less than 12,000 in 2019 is now claiming to have registered 86,000.
Which local government is this?
Omuma local government, Oru is local government. Particularly the ward of the governor of the state registered 46,000. That had only 3 years ago 6,000 registered voters. Is it on INEC website? As a fact, if it is, what has gone wrong? And I want my brother, as two Petros, let us face the issues, let us stop politicking, because our children are going to be victims of all this rigmarole and lies and deceit.
You're saying that those figures, the registration figures, were inflated, and that's not the case?
I am saying that in 2019, I've been the secretary of PDP in Imo State for 6 years. In 2019, we discovered that there were fake registration units in the same ward of Moma in Imo State. And we alerted INEC. So what he's saying, Ugochidre is saying, is not new. We did it in 2019. Alerted INEC. INEC was, and I give it credit to them, came in and corrected the anomalies. And PDP won in that local government in 2019. Today, they have gone back to the same system. And the challenge we have here today is that everybody knows if we get it right with beavers, if we support INEC to do credible election, it doesn't matter which party wins. It means that we have started a pedestal of getting leadership by those who earn and who should be there, and not by any fraudulent means.
Okay, let me just quickly confirm, though, because, I mean, even though what you're saying is that we should stick with the fact whether or not, indeed, somebody has gone to court to try and stop the use of beavers, but the allegation is that Governor Hope Uzodinma is behind that person. Maybe by extension, the APC in Imo State is the one trying to stop the use of beavers. The name of the person who has gone, I'm unsure if it's a man or a woman, the name we have is Nwankwerry Morale Chinwe. I don't know whether you know this person and whether or not the person has any affiliation whatsoever with Governor Hope Uzodinma or the APC at that.
The point is this. According to Wole Soyinka, the owl cried in the night and the child died in the morning. Who does not know who killed the child? This is happening in the community, the immediate vicinity of the state governor. And I've told you that this is not new to us. The Nigerians are probably, because of the effort of the CUPP and all that, hearing it at a larger scale. It is not new. And it's not only in Omuma, for the records. It's happening in Hituboma. In every local government, let me tell you the truth. You can't tell me that Pang Shanghu is a citizen of Imo State. You can't, in every community where you have an APC kingpin, this fraud is there. And let us also go back to, and I speak with facts. INEC is the regulatory body. They haven't disowned the claim by Ugochidre. In fact, the INEC has come out to say that yes, they acknowledge, but they are cleaning up fictitious registration. These are facts. And what we are facing is, instead of finding out,
did they acknowledge or that they will look into any allegation?
Well, if somebody says that there are fictitious names, uploading of strange names to the INEC, and INEC says we are cleaning up, in fact, we have cleaned out 3,000 in that particular local government. By extension, INEC has accepted
even
that.
Millions, even recently, several millions were delisted from the register that were not right. So there's a regular procedure for the commission.
Yeah, but what we're saying is that the issue is there an infraction? If there is, for the credibility of INEC and for the 2023 elections, we should encourage INEC. Okay. But what we hear are people going to court asking that the INEC chairman be removed, beavers should be stopped. Who is afraid of beavers?
Is the court person associated with the governor?
The truth about it is that we don't even know who the woman is.
You know, it's a woman.
I think you mentioned Maureen also.
Morale, Chinwe.
Chinwe. Well, mostly Chinwe is must be a lady.
It can be the name also unisex.
It can also be unisex. Anyway, well, let me say something. To be very candid with you, if there is any party in Imo State that should be happy with Beavers, right now it should be APC. In 2019, if we had Beavers, Right Honorable Ihedoya would never ever have been declared governor, because in his local government, he posted over 60,000 votes to himself.
He posted it to himself?
Yes.
Did he conduct the elections?
I'm coming. Accredited number of voters in his local government were less than 20. According to INEC.
Less than 21.
20,000, sorry. According to INEC. But this same man got over 60,000 votes in his local government in Abombise.
You don't have the facts.
Now I'm coming.
Which facts? You don't have the records.
Who says so? The records are there.
That he reached 60,000.
Excuse me.
You don't have the records.
I allowed you, Manga, just allow me to learn.
Please don't.
But do you have the records?
The record. There is a public domain.
Can we upload our NEC website now and tell you that there was no local government in Imo State, except in either or not?
Excuse
that we
me.
had.
No.
Have 70,000.
No.
What are you talking about? You don't have
How
the
many?
records.
I said, if there is one party in Imo State today that should be happy with Beavers, I think it should be APC. So, because going into the next election with Beavers, we're not going to have all those figures coming from Abombise, Ahiazumbise, we're going to see the real voters. So,
wait, so you're saying that if we had the vote, if the Beavers was used for that election, Hope Uzodinma would have won the election?
Yes, if the entire polling units results were counted at the first ballot. So let me conclude. Excuse me.
Before he responds.
No, he says something. You understand? He is talking about what's happening at Omuma and what's happening.
And what happened in 2019?
And the issue of Beavers. They are mutually exclusive. You are talking about Beavers. Somebody going to court to stop the Beavers. And you're also talking about the registration at Omuma. INEC is automated. And I'm very happy with what they're doing. Any fictitious name, any name as he's saying that there are, you mentioned a Japanese or Chinese name, all those names, wherever they are found, including the ones that have been uploaded in Abombise, they will all be deleted. So anybody coming to cry wolf, wolf, wolf because an election is around the corner, just to paint a particular party and a particular government in a negative way. I mean, Uzemanga should come out to tell the people the truth. He knows that his party is a party that have the propensity to rig, propensity to write results where accredited number of voters are less and the number of voters that they post are 3 times the number. So he should tell the people the truth. People are watching him.
Well, it's unfortunate, my brother. If you go to Imo State today and you say Raymond, everybody knows. I've been a participant in the electoral processes. I've been a House of Assemblyman. I've been a councillor. I'm a community leader. And I have not come across you anywhere in the whole terrain of political in Imo State. And that's why you are not even averse with the facts and records. For the records, the highest votes that came from a local government in 2019 was Idato South, Hoops, Rochas local government, and it was rejected by INEC. The highest vote that came from Owerri zone was in Ezini Hitembi, it was 43,000. And Abombise, you are quoting where Hedia comes, was 23,000. So, I would like us to have this kind of conversation with people who are conversant with what is happening in Imo State. And I'm telling you, as a true patriot, as somebody who has refused to jump ship, join governments. I have been on this station several times, and I'm clear that we have to make it a future for our younger generation. All these lies I'm putting in Imo State that used to be one of the safest states in Nigeria, all these stories, whenever we come on the national media, we're discussing negatives about Imo State because we want to help our pockets. It does not help. The truth of the matter is, and I want to face facts, what has happened in INEC register in Omuma. what is INEC doing about it and how we are going to stop it? Who has gone to court and mobilizing to stop from INEC from conducting the general election, including removal of... suddenly, Imo State has become the capital of doing the wrong things for the retrogression of Nigeria under the leadership of APC in Imo State. And you are saying that if Beavers was used in 2019, you would have won. You couldn't even win your local government, Edo East. And you came a distant fourth. And like Justice Njeze said, and that is the challenge we have in Imo State. Let me tell you, let's make this opportunity to honestly tell us and the Nigerians. The problem we have in Imo State are at 3 levels. One is the insecurity level. Secondly, lack of good governance. And thirdly, this coming 2023 election. But like Justice Njeze said, unless the injury, and you are the one who mentioned Emeka Iheda, because I'm not here to talk about Emeka Iheda. I'm here to talk about the party in Imo State. Unless the injustice that was meted to the voters in Imo State is corrected, unless that is put to bed and somebody apologizes for it, we will continue to have Imo State on the negatives. Today, Imo State records the lowest number of registered voters in the southeast. Igbo people don't want to come out and register.
But can we
Igbo people don't want to vote because their votes have never counted anymore.
Yeah, but can we gloss over the purported letters written by Mr. Iheda concerning Nnamdi Kanu's release? Because if you say you don't want to talk about it, that letter is also there.
Well, there is a factory in a government house in Imo State headed by Emelomba, the Commissioner for Information, and their duty is to manufacture propaganda, lies, and tales. Let me tell you, we have accepted that we lost at the Supreme Court on 14th January 2020, and we have moved on, rebuilding our party and promising more people a better future. We accept that. But somehow, the people who stole that mandate have not been able to, have not done anything for them to be accepted by Imo people. Let the government concentrate. You don't force love. You don't legislate love.
Don't they love him in the state?
That is the problem in Imo State. The Imo people are yet, 3 years after, to accept the government of APC. And so whatever they do, they have discovered that it is not working. So what do? They put up a propaganda laboratory. Their problem is PDP and Iheda. If they are not sponsoring a demonstration against Iheda, they are sponsoring a demonstration against Uche Agocha. They are sponsoring a demonstration against the state chairman of PDP. They are sponsoring a demonstration against me of no value. They are destroying the campaign headquarters of Uche Agocha. And they are calling for the arrest of anybody who speaks out against the government because they know they have not been able, they are still hanging. And the love and goodwill Iheda and PDP has garnered in Imo State, they have not been able to break it. All this trouble you see, letter, forged letter, audio message, are all manufactured in a factory headed by the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Emelomba, my friend, to destroy and discredit. In fact, asking, as it is today, that the IPOB and all security challenges in Imo State should be heaped so that we will be killed.
But these are allegations when you say he's the one heading all of those, aren't they? Do you have anything to substantiate the fact that what you say that he's the one heading it?
Melumba.
Yeah.
Melumba is the head, is the head of the Gestapo.
Chamberlain, well, I'm not the government spokesperson. I'm a member of APC, a founding member of APC. And it's so disheartening listening to Honorable Ray Manga blatantly lie over issues that you can Google, use your phone to Google and get the figures. It's unfortunate that we have an opposition in Imo State that the only time they have, any opportunity they have to speak like this, they bring the state to utmost disrepute. They paint the state black. They have no kind words for the state because they are not in office. It's so unfortunate. He talked about being patriotic. Everything he's been representing here is completely unpatriotic. I'm so sad listening to him. to be very candid with you. He talked about letters. In the last 1 month, Right Honorable Ihedioha has been in the news for the very wrong things. 24th of September, he was in Ghana telling the whole world that if you don't vote Atiku Abubakar in Igbo land, that you're a saboteur.
But he was here and he said that that's not the case. He defined who he was speaking
to.
No.
You see, he could have also have come again to defend himself that the audio.
So why did you choose not to believe what he said about the statements credited to him in Ghana?
My name is Chris Lance, also Loye Mechara. If you call me otherwise, why compel me to accept that I'm Chamberlain? He was in Ghana, and he told the whole world that if you do not vote for Atiku Abubakar, you're a saboteur in Igbo land.
No, I'm telling you that we took him up when he was here.
Well,
he clarified.
What clarification? He was only apologizing and begging. Now, he was caught pants down on tape, saying that there will be no peace in Imo State as long as he's not in the government house.
Do you have the tape?
I can forward it to you.
Was it a videotape?
Yes, the call he made to one man from, I think from Islington.
It was a videotape.
It was a phone conversation that was recorded, that was filmed.
Was it videotape?
It was
audio tape?
Both. You listen to the audio, it was his voice, it was his phone number, and Honorable Emanga is here, denying something that his principal was caught pants down.
Honorable, is that the case?
No, excuse me. Wait. No, Chamberlain, excuse me, please. He was defending an issue that...
He hasn't spoken about this video that you spoke about.
No, he said that Ebelumba was manufacturing...
This video you spoke about, has he spoken about it? He hasn't.
But he made reference to it.
What?
He made reference to it.
Not about this particular video.
It must not be this particular video, but he is talking about how a particular person, the Commissioner for Information in Imo State, has
so that's different. So, Honorable, is that correct? Have you seen the video he's talking about now?
It's very clear. Let me tell you again. Let me go back a little. I'm a child of history. Our leader in Imo State, Emmanuel Iwanya, when he celebrated his birthday, that's the beginning of all this crisis you see, or these insinuations and the purported letters and all that, these forgeries. When he celebrated his birthday, the governor of Imo State was the special guest of honor. He was there. Emeka Ihedioha was also there as a nobody. We have accepted. Emeka is not the governor of Imo State. When the governor was called to was mentioned, there were Imo people booed him. When Ihedioha was called, the entire church collapsed in applause and ovation, based on the 7 months he was in government and what he was able to achieve, and the agony and frustration that is going on in Imo State. Since that appearance at the church, where a non-political organization heard, applauded, and praised, as it were, and otherwise booed the governor, we have not had peace. And that's the point I'm making. What we have now, somebody in opposition is telling me, somebody in opposition is telling me, oh, Ihedioha wrote a letter that IPOB should, Malami, the Minister of Justice, should not release Kanu. And he's one who knows about the letter. He's the one who knows who made the phone call and who made the phone call was made to. And I'm telling you that it is one out of so many things that are happening, and that is a factory manufacturing all these lies, just a challenge to bring one man and PDP down. And I said that he's the one who is bringing Emeka on this platform. I would rather discuss PDP.
But gentlemen, you know, listen to both of you and all of this, because there was an unfortunate scenario in Zamfara where one person died because APC and PDP, they had this altercation. And the commission, INEC, and several other people are concerned about elections coming through, states allowing the opposition to have access to venues. Peace pact has been signed by political parties. There needs to be peaceful conduct of elections, even the build-up. With rhetoric like this, one wonders, is that atmosphere going to be conducive for elections?
Let me come in. already the PDP in Imo State have created an insecure environment for election to hold.
How can they do that?
Yes, I'm coming.
The state is led by the APC government.
Hold
They're
on.
in charge of security.
At the inception of the government of Senator Hope Uzodinma, they ousted deputy governor, made a comment that people did not take, people didn't take him serious until he started snowballing into very serious issues in the state. He said that the state will be ungovernable for Hope Uzodinma. And I can tell you for free.
Is that why he was arrested?
Well, maybe. I can tell you for free. Thereafter, we started having scores of insecurity, killings of security men, reprisal attacks, and they were celebrating it, even on social media. When someone dies, a policeman is killed, a soldier is killed, you see...
Even though we're not exactly sure of that statement, you can't verify whether or not he said what you say he said.
Well, you can verify, or you ask him, did you actually say this? And we can also bring proof to show that he actually said that. Now...
What is the state doing about ensuring that there's peace in that state?
The more the states... security is a collective effort. When you have an opposition party that are seriously... Let me be kind. Allegedly to be funding insecurity in the state.
In the governor's own local government?
Yes.
There can't be peace in his own local government?
I'm telling everywhere in Imo State, including in Abombise. He knows. He's an Owerri man. I'm an Owerri man. We are having relative peace in Owerri because of maybe one or two security arrangements within the state's capital. However, as far as Imo State is concerned, they have ensured that we're not going to have a peaceful conduct of election.
Yeah, let me ask you.
Excuse me, Michael. He is saying that Honorable Yedo has been accused wrongly. We saw him on video in Ghana.
You saw him
in Ghana saying, if you do not vote for Atiku Abubakar, you're a saboteur. And excuse me,
so what's your challenge with that?
And when you...
Is he talking about your candidate?
Excuse me.
Why are you interested?
No, I'm interested because I'm not going to vote for Atiku Abubakar. I have a better
let me ask you,
just hold on.
Just a quick one. Even though, you know, the letter flying around has been denied by both the state government and the person who was alleged to have written the letter, you know, who also counter-accused the state government of masterminding that letter. I want to ask what your sincere assessment of the release of Nnamdi Kanu will mean for your party in the state and also for the Southeast in general. Let me start with you, Honorable Emela.
Okay, let me honestly.
Yes.
Like I said, I live in Imo. I'm part of the challenges of insecurity. All the normal things that we do in Olobaga do. In Imo State, we not have less than 4 working days, and the capital economy of the state is snowballed very seriously. When Atiku Denwa was governor, there was what you call Masob. They were all over the place. When Hakim was governor, there was also Masob. They were all over the place. They were doing their own thing. And nobody gave them attention. Nobody attacked them. They didn't attack anybody. And we didn't have this kind of massive security challenge. When Hedo Hakim, the IPOB was already in place. They were also there. Let me tell you what happens in security in Imo State. Politicians arm criminals during elections. Immediately after every election in Imo State since 2000 and 2019, the security challenges will upscale. And the government in power, once they take the creative actions and strategies, within 6 months, it goes down. And I'm saying this as a fact. I'm not a security expert, but you can confirm with security agencies in Imo State. It happened after Atiku was elected. It happened after Hakim was elected. It happened after every other government. The government comes in, owns up the challenge, and within a specific period of time, are able to reverse the tide. Now, in Imo State, when this thing started, the Afro people now came. The governor invited the military to Imo State, and they were using gunboats, shooting from the air in communities in Osun and other important areas. That emboldened That was when ESN was now formed and they started hijacking police ammunitions of security agencies.
So do you fear that the release of Nnamdi Kanu could embolden them
If
further,
anything,
or do you think it's going to delve
if anything,
tensions?
we have severally called on the state government to call for a peace conference. He's talking about the security does not belong to the government alone. I agree with him. But the government does not want to engage on that. Nnamdi Kanu's release is paramount to peace and successful election in the Southeast in 2023.
Do you agree with him?
PDP.
Do you agree with him?
Sure, yes.
So,
yes. Personally, I wish the government does not appeal the ruling. Sincerely, I want him to be released, and I want us to have peace in the Imo State and the Southeast.
Let's end on a peaceful note, because we've got to go. Gentlemen, we want to thank both of you for coming on. Honorable Ray Emma, Secretary, PDP Imo State, as well as Chris Lance, also Osondonya Machara. He's a founding member of the APC. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on, and we hope that at least a lot will be done, such that there will be a peaceful atmosphere to conduct elections.